and a good evening to you. Excuse me. I'll give you just a little bit more time before we get on with this thing for more people to get in. For you that are here, please share this out for other people, family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, so on and so forth. However you push this out with whatever device, please do. And I'll share with you why I have this picture up, because this is urgent. This is very, very urgent. I'm behind the picture. I'll be out in the open in just a moment. Moo Moo. Please share this. Share this out with people far and wide. I wasn't planning on coming on tonight, but due to the events that transpired today, I decided to come on. I, along with lots and lots of other people that do radio, live stream, news broadcasts, so on and so forth, I'll share with you what this is all about in just one moment. Let me look at my phone here real quick. I see that some people are sharing this out, and I appreciate it so very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, today, May 24th, 2022, once again, we all lost. By now, all across this nation, you are reading and seeing newscasts about the tragic event that took place in Texas. What a tragic, tragic event. And here we are, once again, facing the same old dilemma, excuse me, that we have faced for years. I'll put this down. Now you can see my ugly mug. The reason why I say we all lost today is because this tragedy affects every single one of us here in America. Every one of us. Now, every time something like this happens, it's always after the fact, after the fact, after the fact. I have been watching it. You have been watching it. It's been going on for years now. It's the same old rhetoric, the same tragic story. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this morning, when those little ones rode the bus or were dropped off at school, no one in their wildest imagination had any idea, none whatsoever, that this tragedy was going to transpire. There are numerous people in that community that are right now brokenhearted, devastated. Their lives have been literally turned upside down. Never, ever, never, 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 never will their life ever be the same again because of this tragedy. Here we are. Mark another one up. And for years, as I've already stated, this has been taking place across our nation. I want to say some things tonight that aren't politically correct. I'm not politically correct. I'm an old guy. I've been around for 73 and a half years. I've seen a lot of things come down the pike. Some good, some not so good, some just flat out ugly. We are seeing so much ugliness in this country. Over and over and over again. If there's two things, and there's more than two things, but there's two things that really, really caused me to spit sideways, it's abortion and tragedies that happen today. Senseless, needless. And we live in evil times. Now, if you don't get that yet, you're never going to get it. Your head has to be made of cement if you don't get it. These are evil times. Those good people in that community in Texas had no idea, none whatsoever, that this was going to take place today. Not in their community. And we have this mindset. Listen to me. It's unfortunate, but we have this mindset across the country that it won't happen in my community. It won't happen in my home. It won't happen in my city. It won't happen in my town. That's a lie. You're being deceived. We're watching it unfold every single day, every week, every month, every year. We're watching something ugly taking place, something evil, something dark. And this is what I want to say tonight. When are we going to have enough? Enough already. Enough already. There are solutions. There are solutions, ladies and gentlemen, to these problems. For every problem that we have in this country, and God only knows we have so many, and so many have been created by politicians, bureaucrats. They've been created. But every single problem that we have in this country can be solved. Will it be easy? No. No. We didn't get here overnight. We didn't go to bed last night and wake up this morning and all of a sudden we realized we had problems. This country is destroying itself from the inside out. Now listen to me. People, ordinary people, just like you and I, have sat on our hands and we have allowed this thing to happen. Lawlessness, evilness. Well, it won't affect me. It does affect me. It does affect you. What happened today affects me. Maybe you can't tell yet, but it affects me. And it should affect you. We lost treasure today. Once again, we lost treasure. We lost little people that are so important to this nation. It was a hideous crime that was committed. We've sat on our hands. We've turned our heads. We've closed our eyes. We've closed our ears to the point that we've almost become insensitive to something like this. something that's taking place like this again and again and again and again. My question to us, to you and to me, when is enough enough? And when are ordinary men and women going to stand up? Stand up. Let me tell you something. This country is on a downhill skid, almost like an airplane that is diving out of control. And they can't pull the yoke back. They can't pull the stick back. They can't get it up, 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 up. It's crashing. It's going down, and it's going down fast. And people have been crying out the warning for years. I watched in my lifetime as all of a sudden, because of one person, the Bible was taken out of schools. Prayer was taken out of schools. Our institutions are being destroyed. Our country is being destroyed. Now, whether you like it or whether you don't, it's time that ordinary people like us stand up. I don't know all the details. No one knows all the details of what took place today. But I have one question burning in the recesses of my soul. How in the world did that individual ever get into a schoolhouse? Let me put this back up again. And here's the reason why. You see those two little girls beside my mom? That's two of my youngest grandkids. Now their names are Brooklyn. She's the little one with the blue shawl. And Madison. She's the little blonde-haired girl. To me, Brooklyn is Mo. And Maddie is Munchkin. That's Mo and Munchkin and my mom. Ladies and gentlemen, one is 7.5 and one is 8. Some of them children that lost their lives today was the same age. Now, I want you to take a good look at them. And if you don't want to look at them, then I would suggest that you look at your own kids. I don't care if they're 2 days old, 1 day old, 10 years old, 15 years old, 22 years old. You take a good look at your kids. That's your kids. They don't belong to the state. They don't belong to the United States government. They're your kids. And you. I raised 4 kids. My wife and I have raised 4 kids. I have 11 grandkids. And I have 4 great-grandkids. Did we do everything right? Nope. But they were our kids. Don't you think it's time that we defend our kids? Whatever it takes. I don't care what it is. That's your kids. Are we going to continually let this happen? That's right. Are we going to let this happen? Because that's what happens. We let these things happen. Well, what can I do? You can get up off your hands, put your big boy panties on, or your big girl panties on, hoist them up, gird them up real tight, and do something. Well, what can I do? Here's what you can do. And listen to me. I'm in Laurel, Delaware. It's a small community. But let me tell you something. The school board here in the Laurel School District, and I don't care if you get mad, upside down, sideways, twisted, get your panties in a wad, it makes no never mind me. But you better man up, you better woman up, and you better sit down and look at this situation and say we have to do everything possible. We have to do everything possible to protect our children. Everything. Everything. You Laurel school administrators, bureaucrats, and I'm talking to all the other districts in and around our area and across the state and up the state and in other states. Wherever you might be watching from or listening to this again from, it's up to you. It's up to you to do something. Well, what can we possibly do? Go to these school boards. Now, there's been a movement lately. There's been a movement lately across this nation where parents have raised up and went against these school boards for some of these ridiculous things that they're trying to shove down the throats of our kids. You've done a splendid job. You have found out that you have the power to change things. In this case, you have the power to change things. You and me. What could we possibly do? Let me remind this school district here and school districts all across the nation, as soon as something like this happens, here comes the rhetoric. The politicians, your local politicians, your state politicians, Congress and the senators, they come crawling out of the woodwork, up from the cracks of the floor, and right away they start throwing the rhetoric out. Gun control, gun control, gun control, gun control. Let me tell you something. You lane brains. That's exactly what you are. You lane brains. You're not getting it, or you don't want to get it. You've got hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of gun laws on the books, and you don't enforce them. And let me tell you something. I don't care what you write on the book. I don't care what you put on a bill. I don't care how you vote on it, up, down, sideways, inside out. It doesn't matter. When somebody is hell-bent on committing such a hideous crime, no piece of paper, no gun control law is going to stop them. You've seen it over and over and over and over and over and over again. The politicians are out. The mainstream media is out. They've got their backs. Gun control, gun control, gun control, gun control. Let's take the guns from the citizens. Let's take the concealed weapon permits away. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let me tell you something. You in your ivory tower, and you behind your walls, and you with more security than you can shake a stick at, all you're trying to do is make some more political points. That's all you're doing. More political points. And that just don't get it anymore. that don't get it anymore. You Marxists, socialists, liberals, left-wing nuts, listen to me. And I don't care if you like me or I don't care if you don't. My name's down there at the bottom of the screen. I'm not hard to find. Not at all. But you lame brains got these ideas in your head that you're going to stop this and you're going to stop that. No gun zone in our schools. What's the solution? What's the answer? My one burning question is, how did that lame brain get into the school? Why was it so accessible? Now here's the answer. The answer is very simple. You have retired military. You have retired policemen. You have retired this and you have retired that. If you would ever think, and I know, oh my goodness gracious, we could never have it. Let me tell you something. If you're going to fight evil, then you better be geared up to fight evil. Because evil's coming. They're coming after your kids. They're coming after your mom. They're coming after your dad. No respecter of persons. Evil is coming. It's already here. We've seen it. And if you're going to go up against evil, you better get some hardness about you. Period. Bottom line. There's enough people, there's enough volunteers in every single community that you can protect our schools.
Oh, but we can't have armed citizens in the school.
No, but you can make a school so accessible that a shooter can come in and just literally take the lives of little children, high school kids, college kids. But you don't want no armed citizens there to protect those kids, to watch those doors, to check people coming in and out. Put a wand on them.
Oh, well, we might offend somebody.
Who cares? Who cares? As long as that little one comes home at night after school, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Oh, it'll be like the Wild West.
What do you think it is now? The bad people's got the weapons. The bad people knows where the gun zones are. No guns here. Well, that's where I'm going. If somebody's determined to commit such a heinous crime like they did today, once again, then you have to have means and ways to protect our little people. Somebody has to get up off their duff. Period. That's plain Esplanade talk. Somebody's going to have to get up off their behind and do something.
Well, they'll just shoot us down.
These people, somebody just said this. Our children deserve the same protection that all these politicians get and all of our government buildings get. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. There were little lives that was taken out today that'll never see the things that other kids will see growing up. These moms and dads, grandmas and grandpaps and aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters, their life has been twisted in a knot. And it'll stay like that. It'll stay like that. What in the world is wrong with us? These politicians, I'm talking about state politicians, your local politicians, the Senate, the Congress, they say sit down and you say, how long do I have to sit here? And if they said, you sit here for 2 days, okay. We've seen it. We've seen it happen. They've locked us down. They shut us up. They shut us down. And we allow it to happen. We allow it to happen. If they say jump, we say, how high should I jump? They bully us. This is the United States of America. Criminals running wild, commit a crime, no bail, back on the street. Go out and commit another crime. Turn them out. Turn them out. Turn them out. Turn them out. Those that were harmed, injured, killed, raped, mauled, disabled, they become the bad people. The bad people become the victims. Cut it out. Cut it out. You're totally insane when you think like that. Now the politicians, including the President of the United States, gun laws, gun laws, gun laws, gun control, gun control, gun control. Get up. Get up. My heart is broken. I'm sure yours is broken too. It's all over the news one more time. Take that and couple that with all the other ugliness that's taking place in our country, disintegrating right before our eyes. And if that don't move us to action, if that doesn't move us to do something, then we deserve to go down the tubes. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going. That's where we're heading. That's where we're heading. Somebody better dig their heels in quick. Put the brakes on this thing. Get a grip on something. And wake up. Wake up. Listen, these school board people, if they want to dance around and play around and make you look like an idiot because you are so urgent, then get them out. Get them out. Get them out. I'll guarantee you, it's too late. It's too late. After an incident like today takes place, it's too late to say, I wish we would have, or I know we could have, or perhaps we should have tried. These are our kids, our kids. And listen, we that live here in Laurel, don't you dare 1 second, I mean not for 1 single second, get this mentality thing upside your gourd that it won't happen here. There's places all across this nation that have said exactly those same things. You've heard it on the after facts. We never thought it would happen here. We didn't think it was possible to happen here. We're such a quiet community. We wouldn't dream that anything like this could happen here. It's been said countless times across this nation, and guess what? It happened there. And so, Laurelites, shake yourselves, shake yourselves. It can happen here just the same as it can happen anywhere. God forbid that it happens. But there's things that we can do as ordinary citizens of every single community. There are things that we can do. Listen, if these local politicians don't want to hear it, this is an election cycle. Then we mount up and we vote them out. You politicians that are so concerned about your influence and your prestige and your look, your look of importance, you need to get off of that. And you need to understand that you're not such a big wheel. You're not King Tut. You represent us. You represent the people. Now, if you don't got the gall or the guts to stand up for what is right, because your party might get upset, then you need to get somewhere. Exactly. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat, a conservative. It doesn't matter to me. If you can't stand up for what is right, y'all have been standing up for these public schools for years and years and years, and watch it turn corrupt, and have allowed things to happen in our schools, the teaching in our schools, the indoctrination in our schools, and you didn't have enough courage to stand up for what is right. I don't want to cause no waves. I don't want to upset nobody. I don't want to upset the people in my party. I don't want to. You need to get somewhere. Because you're no good. You're no good to us. You're no good to little people out there in these schools. And so I'm going to close with this. We can protect the children in our schools, in our communities, in every community, in every city across this great country. It's just got to take some people to get up and get in the face of some of these people and say, enough already. I've had enough. There's been enough brokenheartedness. There's been enough ruinization. There's been enough bloodshed. Well, we don't want to be liable. You don't want to be what? You're liable whether you like it or whether you don't. You're liable for the safety of those children. I'm liable for the safety of those children. We're all liable for the safety of those children, and we can protect them. Well, we can't put a metal detector in every school, and we can't do this and you can't do that, but you can put a body in every school. You can put several bodies in every school with the proper training. You can put bodies in the school that can protect those children. But do you got the gumption? Do you got the guts to get off the backside and do it. Do it. Just flat out do it. How many more of these do we have to have? How many more? How many more kids have to die? Just answer me that. How many more? There's been too many already. Too many. Stop it. You stop it. I stop it. We stop it. And don't let anyone stop us from stopping it. I mean, people are heartbroken tonight. People will never be the same again. And without even turning the news on, every one of us can just about tell you or tell each other what they're saying now. We've heard it. We've heard it 1,000 times already. It's over and over and over again. Every time after a tragic event like this takes place, they say the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Enough already. Let enough be enough. End of story. End of conversation. Do something. Now you listen to me, Laurel, because this is where I live. You listen to me, school board members, administrators, bureaucrats. You listen to me. Get something done. And don't waste time doing it. I spent 19 months in Vietnam as a combat Marine. So I know something about evil. I know something about life being very, very raw. I know something about men and women having courage. I know something about men and women banding together and fighting for a cause. Get it done. Get it done, not yesterday. Not yesterday. Get it done. Get it done now. Now. So we don't have to have another tragic event like we had today. I'm begging you. You politicians, get yourself together. Get your act together. Just do it. Enough of your phony baloney. Enough of your plastic. Enough of your look who I am. Do you know who I am? I know exactly who you are. And if I don't see you standing up in the fight, to me, if you're not in the thick of it, you need to get somewhere. I pray that God will have mercy on our souls. Father, forgive us for our negligence. Forgive us for our do-nothingness. We are where we are today because we have failed to do something. Something. Do something. There's my good friend Cassandra down in Arkansas. I literally threw my iPad when the story broke and said, "Enough is enough." Oh, I wonder how many times that phrase has been said across this country already. Enough is enough. Please pray for those families. I can't imagine. My heart breaks for them, but I just can't imagine what they're going through tonight. The pain, the darkness, the sorrow, the brokenness. There's not words alone that can describe it. Please pray for those families. And continue to pray for other people across this nation that lost their children in much the same way. Evilness will run rampant across this nation unless somebody is willing to get a grip on it. Lawlessness will destroy our nation. So please pray. Pray for your family. Pray for your children. Pray over them. Lay hands on them. Lay hands on them. Because the enemy has come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Those precious little innocent lives today were taken into eternity because someone with an evil heart I thank you for bearing with me tonight, but I had to get this. No, I'm none better, but at least I shared it with you. Thank you. Push this out there. Share it out there. I know a lot of my colleagues, a lot of people that I know that live stream and do radio, they're feeling the same way I'm feeling tonight, and they're all over. They're all over. They're on live stream shows. They're doing their radio shows. Dear Lord, help us. And I'll close with this. Miss Cassandra said, "Know, my friends, that I love you all." And that goes for me. I love you all. And when we close out programs, I always say, don't ever be afraid to look someone in the eye and tell them that I love you. It could save a life. Don't you ever be afraid to look somebody in the eye and tell them I love you. You could not only save a life, but you never know. It might be the last time you ever see him alive. So please, tell somebody tonight. Wrap your arms around them kids. I don't care if they're 22, 23, 25. I don't care if they're 50. Wrap your arms around those kids and tell them, Dad loves you. Mom loves you. Let's do what we have to do. God bless you. Thank you. Good night, everybody.